Let's go ahead and begin the expectations associated with discussion forums inside the class. Let's go ahead and begin. Things that I expect. I expect in a discussion forum posting that you are putting something that is substantive or respective quality into it. What I've got listed here on the next couple of slides are posts that I ask you to stay away from because they will not get you credit on a respective discussion forum post. So the good job post, if you're responding to somebody and say, hey, Mike, you did a great job on that respective post, that's not going to get you points. I want something substantive. I want something of quality when you're making a respective post. If you're just saying, hey, Mike, you did a good job, that's not going to count towards post. Regurgitating, or what I call the summary post, just repeating or stating something that someone else has stated, is not going to count towards post in a discussion forum. Now, if you're adding additional insight into that respective posting, that's fine. However, if you're just, for example, if I ask you to calculate the average of 5 numbers, and you basically restate the exact same thing, that's not going to count as far as a response. So do keep that in mind. The next one, let's ask a question because I don't know the answer to the post. Hey, I was reading this. What do you think about that? You know, I need something substantive that's there when you make a post. If you're just asking a question, it's not going to count. Now, if you summarize something, you close it with a question, that's perfectly fine. But if you're just asking a question, say, hey, I'm not getting the concept, can you help me? That's not a quality response. It's not going to count for points inside of one of my courses. Next guy, I found this article and copy pasted the URL or the website. Folks, you know how to read, I know how to read. I don't want to sit there and read or open up an external post. You are responsible if you're referencing that URL or that website, which is perfectly fine. You do the summary on it. You do the work as far as summarizing what that website entails. I don't want just, hey, I found this URL, go check it out type of a response. It's not going to count for points. Folks, the next one, the issues with math, and I totally empathize with students as far as, hey, I haven't had math in 10 years. My math teacher in high school sucked or whatever along those lines. And I totally get that. I empathize with that, and I want a positive experience inside the class. However, integrated forum, that's not the time and the place to have that dialogue. If you're just responding with, hey, I don't get it, and math sucks type of thing, it's not a quality response, it's not substantive, and it's not going to count for points. The next one here is what I refer to as the double dip post. If there's multiple parts to a discussion forum, and knowing that there are 3 quality responses due by the end of the week, and you decide, hey, I got an idea. There's 3 parts to it. I'm going to break it up into 3 parts. It's going to count as 3 posts, and I'm done with my discussion forum. That's not going to work. If there's 3 parts to the initial post, you have to answer all 3 parts of the post in the initial posting. You can't split it up, or what I refer to as a double or triple dip. It's not going to count. That's a strategy a lot of times students will do towards the due date of forums, and you're not going to get away with it inside the course. So please do keep that in mind. That's why I have these videos, to kind of make sure we're all on the same page in terms of the expectation. Okay, now what I do encourage in a math course, the best way to demonstrate or show the understanding of a concept is to demonstrate it by way of example. If, for example, you are asked to calculate the average of a set of numbers, the best way to show it is, here's a set of 5 numbers. I add them together. I divide by 5, show that inside the post. Doing the Reader's Digest or the 30,000-foot view in terms of what that post involved, you know, just don't say, hey, I added up 5 numbers and divided by 5. Show me an example of you applying the concept. That is one of the reasons why you're inside one of these math or stat courses, to demonstrate your understanding of the concept. Just telling me, doing a copy and paste of what the definition is, doesn't tell me whether you understand the concept. So examples, especially in a math discipline or a statistics discipline, is the best way to demonstrate the understanding of the material. Corrections to someone else's post, using proper etiquette, of course, is a good way to respond to somebody. Hey, I noticed you added 5 and 5 and you got 11 on it. When I added 5 and 5, I got 10. You might want to look at the way that you calculated your corresponding value. Using proper etiquette, not saying, Mike, your post sucked type of response is great in terms of the dialogue having back and forth. So do keep that in mind. Those are the two things that I'm truly looking at when you're responding to that initial posting, as well as your responses that are out there. Let's talk discussion forums each week. Discussion forums open at Sunday at 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time, depending on what time of the year we're at. And they close on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Mountain Daylight Time. So they are open during the class week from Monday to Sunday. Your initial post must be in on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time on Thursday. If not, however many points possible on the discussion forum, you automatically lose 60% if it's in 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time or 12 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Friday or beyond, when that discussion forum is open. 2 quality responses before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time Sunday. So a total of 3. First one has to be done on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time or Mountain Standard Time, depending on what time of the year we are in. So it's the rule of 3. First one by Thursday is the general rule. Okay. Cannot stress this enough. Discussion forums are only open the week they are administered. They are not open early. Don't send me a private message saying, Mike, I'm going to be on vacation next week. Can I do my discussion forum early? The answer to that question is no. Conversely, discussion forums cannot be submitted late. Hey, it's Monday morning and I forgot to submit my postings on Sunday. Will you reopen it for me? The answer to that question is also no. Discussion forums are tied to attendance inside this course, and as a result, they cannot be opened early, nor can they be submitted late. If you send me a private message about that, I'm going to refer you back to this video for clarification. So again, keep up. You are responsible as the adult learner for proper time management. Each week you have a discussion forum. It opens on Monday, closes on Sunday. The first one's got to be in by Thursday. If you keep that in mind, you'll be successful inside the course. Okay, graded forums. If you're taking quantitative reasoning, you have a graded forum week 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The corresponding discussion forums off to the right. The other weeks, say week 2, week 10, and week 11, there's something called a muddiest point forum that you'll be able to respond to earn attendance, but they do not earn you points on those respective weeks. If you're taking the business stat course, the MA 3000 course, you have a graded forum every single week, with the exception of week 9. There is no graded forum that week. You do have a muddiest point forum week 9 that will allow you to earn attendance for that week, but does not count for points. Okay, I just alluded to this here. Before, muddiest point forums are Q&A forums. This would be the place, if you had a question, you would go ahead and post it out there. I do monitor discussion forums throughout the week. The exception to that is after Saturday morning. I do not do any facilitation of classes starting Saturday and all day Sunday. You as the adult learner have the flexibility to do the class when you want, with the exception of that initial post. On Thursday, the instructor works 6 days a week. He takes off Sunday, which is in the policy inside of NAU. So do keep that in mind. The exception of muddiest point forums is in the quantitative reasoning course, Week 8 is actually a graded muddiest point forum. Outside of it, if you're in business stats or quantitative reasoning, with the exception of week 8, they are not graded. They are not required to be responded to for muddiest point, with the exception of that week 8 in the quantitative reasoning course. If you don't have any questions, you don't have to post 3 times in a muddiest point forum, with the exception of that one that I just referred to. And again, it's got to be substantive. If you do, again, a posting for attendance, or I'm here, or math sucks type of post, it's not going to count. I'm going to reverse the attendance that's associated inside that muddiest point forum. You can earn attendance, but it's got to be substantive inside a muddiest point forum. Okay, so let's talk scoring. If there are 10 points possible, majority of all discussion forums are 10 points. There are 2 exceptions inside the business stats when there are only 5 points, but it works the same way. It's 60% of the points for the initial post and 20% for the first response, 20% for the second response. So let's assume from a scoring perspective, there's 10 points possible on a discussion forum. So student A makes their initial post Wednesday at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, first response Thursday at 10 p.m., and the second response on Saturday. This student would have earned full credit on that discussion forum because the initial post occurred on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This student did it on 3 separate days, which is perfectly fine. So this student would have earned full credit, or the 10 out of 10 points on the discussion forum. Now, I don't like student B's personally, but NAU does not put the requirement that the postings have to be on separate days. This student decided on one day, made quality responses on a Thursday, one at 3 p.m., one at 3:05 p.m., and one at 3:10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. Per NAU policy, if they are quality responses, does get you full credit. The key is the initial post was made on or before 11:59 p.m. on a Thursday, and the 2 responses occurred during the week that discussion forum was open. So this student would have earned full credit for this post. I don't agree with doing it all in one fell swoop, but that is NAU's policy, and I will follow that accordingly. Let's talk student C. Student C procrastinates, decides 5 minutes before midnight, oh gosh, I realize I got to get my initial post in, and lo and behold, starts typing it, submits it Friday at 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. D2L, the class portal, is the official timekeeper. Do not send me a private message saying, Mike, I was working on it 5 minutes before midnight, and I swear that it was in before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. Give me credit on it. The answer to that question is D2L is the official timekeeper. If it says on the class portal that post was posted 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time or 12 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time on a Friday, the initial post does not count. You lose the full credit on that because the post was not made on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday. The 2 responses would count, 2 points for the first, 2 points for the second, get you 4 out of 10 as the result. So do not procrastinate and wait until the last minute to get your initial post in. You're going to lose 6 out of the 10 points, or 60% of the total possible points, if you procrastinate and wait until the last minute. I am not flexible in terms of, well, I swore I started at 5 minutes before, or even the time differential. There's going to be something I'm going to refer to as time zone that you're responsible for making sure you, as the adult learner, are responsible for knowing the time differential. That's going to be covered in a different video that is going to be time zone on it that I'm going to cover, and so that you ensure if you live on the East Coast or in California on the West Coast, what is that time differential relative to Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. Let's talk student D. Student D waits till the last minute, puts their 3 posts out on Sunday, one at 10 p.m., one at 10:05, and one at 10:10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. The initial post was not made on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. resulting in 0 points for the initial post. Did make 2 quality responses, would have yielded 4 out of 10 points on it. Again, it is imperative you get your initial post in on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. Otherwise, it does not count for points. Student E makes an initial post Sunday at 10 p.m., the first response 10:05. Only made 2 responses. There was no initial post that was made. Still ends up with 4 out of 10 points. It really is equivalent. If you haven't made your initial post by Thursday, the most you can earn is 4 out of 10 points on a discussion forum. So do keep that in mind. Student F makes their initial post Sunday at 10 p.m., but does not make any responses. As a result, only 1 post. That post was not made on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. As a result, only earns 2 out of 10 points. Obviously, the one that I do not have listed, no posts during the week that it's open between Monday at 12 a.m. Mountain Time and 11:59 p.m. Sunday. If there's no post made during the week, obviously a 0 is administered. Folks, if there's any questions regarding this policy, regarding discussion forums, please don't hesitate to send me a private message. Thank you.